Hey, if your emails are landing in spam, in this video, you're going to discover exactly how do you get out of a spam. Because I've already helped one of my clients go from 7% to 25% that resulted in revenue from $3,000 to $25,000. And this is a kind of a case study video plus explaining you the basics of email deliverability and exactly how it works. So if you look at the one of my client here, they were having 7.09% when they started working together, and the revenue was only $3,000. But after 3 months you can see we have 25% open rate, and the revenue on that particular month was $24,000. It was all because of increasing the open rate and plus making sure that we write the better email. So in this video, what we're going to discover is what exactly is email deliverability and why it is damn important. What are the five things that affects email deliverability? How do you set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC? And what are these things? Like why these terms are very complicated? And I'll show you the case study of the client which I was talking about, how it went from 7% to 25%. What are the action step which I have taken for that client so that you can start implementing and getting out of the spam as soon as possible. And at the finally, I'll give you one page guide on how to get out of spam and keep open it 20% and beyond. Okay, so without wasting your time, let's go dive right into it. Okay, so it's very basic thing that we need to understand, like what is email deliverability and why it is damn important. It's very simple thing. Uh, Before I explain you what exactly is email deliverability, there is a two things that we need to be aware. One is email deliverability, and second thing is inbox placement. Lot of email service provider consider email deliverability as the number of emails sent. For example, if you are sending to 100,000 people and out of 100,000 only 80,000 was delivered, that means it was only 80% delivered. So deliverability is 80%. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about something called inbox placement. But in this video, I might use the term email deliverability in the exchange of inbox placement. So, what is inbox placement? It's where your emails are landing. Let's suppose in the case of Gmail, we have different tabs, right? Primary, promotion, update, and spam. So don't get confused between email deliverability and inbox placement. So if I come to inbox, you can see primary, promotion, social, and update. So these are different tabs, and one which is hiding, which no one is seeing and nobody's talking about, and very few people check this, which is spam folder. So this is what we have to avoid, because if your emails are here or clients emails here, that is the worst thing can happen. This is a treated spam folder, and it can drastically impact the open rate and revenue. So we have to make sure that we don't land here. If we are landing here, in this video I'll tell you exactly how do you get out of it. So why it is damn important? It's very simple. Like, if it does not matter how good your email is, if nobody is reading it, nobody is buying it. As simple as that. So we need to make sure that more consumption is equal to more trust, and more trust is equal to more people who is buying your product or services. So this is Cape Tab revenue calculator. So if I give an example, like let's suppose you have a 10,000 email subscriber and you're sending 5 times per week, that is 20 emails per month. And if you open it is only, let's suppose, 7%, you see you are making only $2,800, considering your product is $1,000. And if you just increase this number to 20%, that will drastically impact your monthly revenue. So what we need to understand, that if more people are reading the email, more people will buy the product or services. So that is the first thing, and that is the most important thing, that we are doing email marketing, we should not be landing in spam. That's like YouTube is banning your channel or Meta is banning your ad account. It is similar to that. We can't do anything if your emails are landing in spam. So moving to the next step, which is what are the five things that affects our email deliverability. So here are the five things that affects email deliverability. It's very simple thing. First thing is sender reputation, which is combination of domain reputation and IP reputation. The second is authentication. This is where I'll talk about what is SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, making sure that you are the legit person. You're otherwise anybody can send from any one domains, and that will be a lot of problem for a lot of people. And third is infrastructure, which is making sure that your IP is warm up and you have a clean list. And fourth and final thing is content, which is including from name and subject line. So let's talk about first thing, which is what is sender reputation. So sender reputation is a combination of domain plus IP reputation. Let me explain. So imagine email sending like a delivering letters to email. Okay, your domain reputation is equal to your home address reputation. Okay, like you belong to, for example, somewhere Bangalore. This is like your house reputation in the neighborhood. If people living there are known for being trustworthy, the email courier, the mail courier not, excuse me for my pronunciation, the email provider will happily deliver their letter. But if people from your house have a history of sending fake invitation or junk mail, the mail carrier will start ignoring letters from your address. So simply, like if you're sending emails, let's suppose a post, you're sending letters to anyone, right? And you're such a kind of person who send fake letters and you send unwanted letters, then obviously people will block you, right? So that's what we need to understand. You have to be genuine. You are should be sending the right message. So that's the whole purpose. Like you should be the legit person. You should not be sending anything and trying to scam people. What is IP reputation? Your delivery van reputation. Try to explain. Let me explain. Even if your house has a good reputation, okay, you are sending good emails. That is good emails you're sending. The way your letters are delivered also matter. Let's suppose your delivery van has a history of safely and reliably dropping off letter the city trusted. They're delivering to one part of the city to a different part of the city. Everybody's trusting and this van is doing good work. But if the van is known for dumping letter in random places or carrying fake messages, the city start blocking it. Same thing happened with IP reputation. It's like, what is van? You're using a lot of email service provider like Active Campaign, ConvertKit, Go High Level. So you're using these are vehicle through which you are delivering your letter, which is your email. So if your vehicle reputation is bad, it will also affect where your emails are landing. People will start blocking it, right? So together, sender reputation is like the combination reputation of both your house plus your delivery reputation. Either one has a bad record, your letter might not get delivered properly, as I've already told you. So there are two type of IP reputation here. The first is shared IP and the second is dedicated IP. Think of shared IP versus dedicated IP like a shared apartment building versus owning your own house. So what is shared IP? It's a apartment building. You live in an apartment with many other tenants, like a lot of people are there. If everyone follows the rule, then it's good. But imagine if some neighbors are causing trouble, playing loud music, damaging property, the whole building reputation is on the line, right? So in terms of email, it is the same thing. Shared IP means multiple businesses, a lot of people are using the same tool like Mailchimp, like ConvertKit, like Go High Level. If everybody is doing the good work, Gmail and other service provider will trust it. But if everybody is doing like sending spam email, trying to scam people, it will start a blocking. Make sense? So when it comes to dedicated IP, this is where your own control is. This is your own house. You own a house and its reputation depends only on your behavior. You keep it clean and well maintained, people will trust it. If you throw wild parties every night, spam people, you alone face the consequence. In email terms, our dedicated IP is yours alone, meaning your sender reputation is completely under your control. Whatever your behavior will be, it will be decided by you only. Which is better? So if you're sending less than 100,000 emails, make sure you use shared IP. But if you're sending more than 100,000 emails per month, use dedicated IP for the businesses sending high volume, which is $100,000 plus. So for this client, we were using dedicated IP, and I'll tell you exactly how it went. So before that, let's understand what is authentication. So authentication is all about setting up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. I'll explain you in a very easy to understand language, and you don't have to worry about a lot of technical thing. I'll tell you exactly what to do, and that's what you have to do. Okay. So what is it? It's very simple. It is showing Gmail and other simple email provider that you are the legit person. Like you are not the person. You're not a fake person. Like imagine you're sending an email from domain of Netflix.com. I don't own Netflix.com, right? I'm not the person who's the owner of Netflix.com. But let's suppose I start faking it. And if I don't verify myself that I am the owner of the domain, this can create a lot of problem or not. You tell me, right? I start asking money from you and a lot of people. Okay, I'm the Netflix owner. Please recharge it. And I'm getting the money. You are not getting what? The subscription on Netflix. So that can create a huge problem. That is the reason authentication is mandatory. And this is one of the blog from Google itself, which has came in Feb 2024. And this is very important. If you don't follow this, your email will land in spam. So there are three certain rules that is important to follow. That is new requirement for bulk sender is authenticate their email. You should not need to worry about the intricacy of email security standard, but you should be able to confidently rely on email's resource who send willing to strongly authenticate their emails. As I'm already discussing what is authentication. Enable easy unsubscription, making sure that people are able to easily unsubscribe, and ensuring they're sending wanted email. Here's a wanted email. People want to read your email. People want to reply to your email. They want to consume your email. That will be the factor always. If you can do that, algorithm will love it, your people will love it, your subscriber will love it, everyone will love it. So that will be the always the best thing. But in terms of technical thing, we should make sure that these things are optimized. Okay. So once we understand like why these things are important, let's move to understand what is SPF, what is DKIM, and what is DMARC. So what is SPF? SPF is like your email ID card. Okay, you go to any club, right? Bouncer check your ID, verify that you are who you are. Say like in India we say Aadhaar card, like you are the person who is at the same ID card, and you are the same person. You go to airport, they check your ID card. So it is similarly like you are the person. I'm Sarabjit, my ID card says I'm Sarabjit. So that is what you're trying to verify. So SPF is like ID card for your email. Without SPF, sorry, cannot verify your identity. I'm not sure you're the right person who is saying that I'm Sarabjit. I'm not sure. So airport security or will not able to identify, right? With SPF, ID checks out, welcomes in. Okay, come to the airport. Let's board in. Okay. So in the example, what happens is when you send an email from any email, right? Support at your company.com. SPF tells inbox provider is like Gmail. This person is actually allowed to send email from this address. So I'm the person who is sending email from to the Gmail, right? Gmail will ask, okay, is this person is allowed to send email or not? So SPF in SPF will have to mention yes, this person is allowed to send email. So let's say you have sent an email to Bob. How does Bob DNS server know that email was in fact sent from you? Anybody can send, right? But the problem is it does not really, unless you have SPF set on your DNS servers. So SPF define which IP address can be used to send emails from your domain. Let's suppose you're sending from go high level or convertkit. So you'll have to mention that okay, we are allowed to send email from go high level, we are allowed to send email from convertkit. If you don't mention, Gmail will not able to identify and they will put your email in spam. So that's what we have to do. And how to do it, it's very simple. The first step is to check like what is your current SPF record. Let you have to go to this tool called dmarcian.com. So if you go to dmarcian.com, what is going to put your domain here and click on check domain. Once you put your domain here, after that you will able to understand what is your DMARC, SPF, and DKIM. So you can see DKIM is valid, SPF is DMARC, and DMARC there is a problem. This is not a problem because it is none here. I'll explain you what exactly these are and you'll able to understand better. But as of now, let's talk about SPF. SPF is this is the record, right? Include this part and all. So I'll explain what it is. But first of all, make sure that you check here. Okay, once you check it, you'll able to understand that whether you have SPF record or not. So let's get back to the presentation here. Now I can see my face as well. So once you are able to do it, depending on your domain host, like the step will differ. The first of all, right now my domain is hosted on My domain is hosted on GoDaddy, so I'll make changes in the DNS record. What is called DNS record? So if you go to the products here, like I'll click on Sarabjit, and first of all, after that, I'll click on my products. When I click on my products, I go to domains. When I go to domain, this is called DNS. So this is where you have to add three different records. I've already added it. I'll explain you exactly what are these and how to add it. So if you click on add new record, choose an option, type txt at the rate and value in string. And so this is where you have to put the value in string. So let's talk about what are these here. uh, let's suppose you're using Google app to send email from your domain. The line would look like this: v equal to spf1 include, this is what you're including, all the IP addresses which is allowed to send email from. Okay, which is, this is called soft fail all. Part of the record is called the version, that is version, and the one that come after are called mechanism. So don't worry about these things, just I'm just explaining you, just for the sake of explaining. This element identify the record as an SPF. Okay, this is a SPF record. Include, this mechanism include mail server that are authorized server. As I said, these are allowed, like allowed to send emails from this IP address. And this one indicates if email is received from an unauthorized, not listed in the include mechanism, what should happen? It gets tagged as a soft fail, which means it can let through but could be flagged as a spam or suspicious. So that is what, like if you click on strict one, it will not able, it emails will not be delivered on you. But if you are using more app than that, for instance, something to send your newsletter, something to send your support message, the line will be a bit longer because you'll have to include all the other apps. So if I'm using Google app, I'll include this one as well. And plus if I'm using another tool, like for example, Active Campaign, I'll use one more line, include, and I'll use Active Campaign domain as well. For example, if I have to set up Active Campaign, like I'll type Active Campaign SPF record setup. So uh, you can see, you can, whatever the tool you're using, just type that and you'll be able to find it. There's a lot of article that you can see. So this is DKIM, SPF, and DMARC. Yeah, so if I see here, when you're sending in the process includes setting up mail server, you don't see an SPF. You don't need to, in this, we don't need to create an SPF record, modify an existing one to work with Active Campaign, because it is already created through CNAME record and DKIM. So right now you don't have to specifically mention SPF because a lot of tools are already including while you are going to set up DKIM. I'll explain you what is DKIM, but right now there are a lot of tools, you don't have to use it, but basic things should be there. Like you see this one, you should have at least include any one domain and all. So this will help you, like it will make sure that we have SPF record, at least one should be there. You see, this is another SPF record. There should be only one SPF record. This is a mistake, by the way. Include this domain. So this is MailChimp. Include this domain. This is google.com, like sending from G Suite. Include secure server, not dead. This is another, I think, MailChimp or some other tool. So including these tools, these three domain will allow us to send emails from them. Okay, so that is what happens. Just come to here, that is SPF record generator on MX toolbox. Click on SPF record generator MX toolbox. You'll able to come here and just type the domain name here and check SPF record. Yeah, it GoDaddy is there. It's already, we have SPF record, so you're able to check it. If you're not, if you have to create new record, just add here the new whatever the domain we have to include. So let's suppose if you want to include this domain, like this was there, right? Include this one. So I'll go here and paste this one. So it will start creating this one. How strict should be SPF record? It should be soft fail. There's a two option. Enter any third party system when you're doing usually provide the good system. This is what you provide the third party. Wait, I think this is the third party. Yes. Finalize record. Yes. You see, this is what it is. It gave you. So type txt, host name this one, and paste it this one. So you have to go simply on your DNS record, add new record. Type should be txt. At the rate that is what sarabjitkumar.com is, and value is pasted directly from here. Paste this one and directly paste it here. I'm not going to do it, but you get the point. So that's how we have to set up SPF record. Let's move to the next thing, which is DKIM. So when it comes to DKIM, it's your finger email fingerprint. Like what happens when you send a letter is this. Think of sending a letter in a sealed envelope. The wax seal prove that it has not been tampered yet. Like imagine if you're sending a letter, someone changes something and send you the email. So there is a problem, right? If the seal is broken, then that means something is wrong. If DKIM is your email wax seal, it proved that email has not been modified in transit, so it really came from you only, and prevent forgery. Like nobody can make any changes. Let's suppose this was the email which you sent to V, but in between someone made a changes. You see the mustache here, it was not there previously, so it will not be delivered. There's a problem in that. So the whole idea is based on encrypting and decrypting the additional signature. It is put in the header of your message. To make that possible, you need to have a two keys. One is private, one is public, which is unique to your domain and available exclusive to you. It allows you to encrypt your signature in the header of your message. What is public key? So imagine I can only decrypt when I have these keys. Okay, so we'll have two keys, private and public, and the private will be only given to the domain. This is my domain, so I can have those keys. The public key, which you can add to your DNS record using DKIM standard in order to allow your recipient server retrieve it and decrypt your hidden signature from the header of your message. So there'll be these two keys, and with the help of those two key, you'll able to decrypt it and read the message. So take a Game of Thrones to get a bigger picture of DKIM. Ned Stark is sending a raven with a message to King Robot. Everyone could take a piece of paper, write a message, and sign it like as a Ned Stark. But there's a way to authenticate the message, the seal. Okay, this is the seal. Not everyone knows that Ned seal is of diarol. That's a public code. Everyone knows that this is a diarol. That is a public key, but only Ned has is the original seal and can set on his message. That's the private key. So you need to understand that it will attach a key, and the person who has this key only can decrypt it. That's it. That's what you have to understand. And how do you set up is putting information about the it also is a txt record. So it's like for example, if I'm using bravo.com, what you have to do is very simple. Go to bravo.com, like any tool you use. This is sendo dedicated IP. If I go to domain right now, it is saying authenticated, right? View configuration. So DKIM record 1, DKIM record 2. So what you have to do is very simple. Type CNAME, name and value. You have to copy this one and paste it. As simple as that. So how we are going to do it? Go to your DNS. Instead of txt, have CNAME, this one. Okay. At the type rate, what we are going to have, paste this one. This one. Name. Wait, where are we? This one. And in place of this one, value, paste this one. Simple, and save it. And I've already done it. I'm not going to do it, but this is how you set up DKIM. So whatever the tool you're using, we have to set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. So final, we are going to understand what is DMARC. So when it comes to DMARC, It's like a security guard. It will identify two things, your SPF and DKM. Like both are right or not. If right, I'll decide what to do. If it is right, I'll let the email go. If it is not right, I'll send the message, I'll report to my manager and everyone, this person is not right. So it is similar. So having a security guard who checks everyone's ID and checks your verify your fingerprint and decide what to do with suspicious people. That's what DMARC is. Combine SPF and DMARC checks, tell provider what to do with failed messages, and report back on who is trying to impersonate you. So DMARC is published in the DNS by domain owner alongside SPF and DMARC. It's very one-line record. This is the record that you have to paste it. So this is like, if there is some kind of problem, where should I send an email? So send this email. So it is not necessary to do it. This is what is the minimum required. In none, we can have three things. We'll talk about that. So how does DMARC work? It is specify what has to happen for the message to go through to the inbox and what will happen if the condition are not met. When email is being tested by DMARC, four things might should be happen. One thing is DKIM is passed. The additional signature put in the header needs to be validated. The private key matches the public key published in the DNS. So this is one thing is DKIM is passing, and second thing is DKIM alignment, which means the parent domain matches the header from domain. Like for example, I'm using sarabjitkumar.com and the header, which is what is header. If you are not able to understand, like if you click on any of the email, this is I'll show you what is header. If I click on show original, this is header. You see authentication result. This is the authentication. DKIM is pass. This pass. See, when you check SPF pass, DKIM pass, DMARC pass. So this mail dot. This is the alignment factor. So that is what I was talking about. Let's get back to our city Google Doc. Okay. SPF pass, a receiver server will take the domain including the envelope from address and check for existing SPF record. And SPF alignment, the domain in the envelope from matches the domain in the email's header form. So basically, we need to understand that is SPF and DKIM are we are it is valid or not. That's it. Okay. So there are three policies. That is what we had to discuss. Like I told you that we are going to discuss that. One is none, third, second is quarantine, and third is reject. So what it means, if an email, this means that if non-policy, all the email will go through, even if they don't pass the SPM DKIM. With the quarantine policy, one that don't pass will be redirected to the spam folder, and with a reject policy, they will bounce. So at initial stage, I keep it none. I don't want any trouble, but at max you can set reject. Like there is no problem. If you know that there is you have done all the proper setup, you can put this to reject, and there should not be any problem. A couple days after you publish DMARC record in DNS, you'll start getting a report from ISP, like Internet Service Provider. Those will include stat about all emails sent from domain, including those that claimed from your domain. So if you see more email than you are really sent, this means someone other than you are is sending the email. So that is what is the problem. That's where you start receiving the like all the report. These reports will allow you to assess the health of your outgoing messages. What element do they include? How the messages were handled in line with DMARC policy that have been set up. So you don't have to worry about these things. Simple. How do you set up it? It's very simple. Go to a DMARC, dmarcian.com. What domain you would like to create? Simple. Go to sarabjitkumar.com. This is what I want to create for. Step one. What kind of policy? Nothing yet. Collect data just. What do you want to aggregate? I don't want anywhere. Do you want to put resume? No, I don't want. I want relaxed and SPF aligned should be relaxed. Do you want a different policy for domain? No. 100% create record. Got it? So simply, this is the record and txt is there. So if I keep it, has no REO tag, so you cannot receive it. So I don't want to receive a REO right now, the tag, but you can definitely use it. There's no problem with that. Basic thing that need to happen, that this and this and this should be here. And if you come to my DNS record, I'll show you where is it. So this is called DKIM, which I've set up. This is DMARC. You see, txt, this is the DMARC. Sometime what happened is, like if you notice, wait, where are we? Sorry. You see target host location is dmarc.sarabjitkumar.com. You don't need to mention sarabjitkumar.com because it will already take a sarabjitkumar.com. So you have to just mention the first word, that is underscore dmarc dot sarabjitkumar.com. It is already implied, it will already take it. So with that being said, let's move to the next part. Add your DMARC record to the audience, modify the policy according to the data, and test again. Go to dmarcian.com and put your domain here and test it, like whether SPF, DKIM, and DMARC is passing or not. If it is not passing, there might be some error that you might have done. So let's move to the next part now, infrastructure. So in infrastructure, from name and subject line are discussed in one go because it is very simple and it's not complicated at all. So when it comes to infrastructure, it is very simple that what domain, like what email service provider are you using. If you're using dedicated IP, making we have to make sure that it is warm up before you sending to the entire email list, because it's a, imagine you are a new house, new van, and you start doing, people don't trust you, right? We need to build trust before we start becoming prime minister, before we start doing bigger things, right? I'm sorry. A clean list. And let's suppose you are switching from one service provider to another service provider, like for example, convert it to active campaign to go high level, or you are using the current subscriber as well, like current email service provider as well. This is the important habit that we need to have, which is making sure that email list is clean and healthy. So what we have to do to make sure that it is healthy and clean is we have to consistently remove inactive subscriber. For that, you must set up, there is something called a re-engagement sequence, or removing the inactive subscriber sequence. Remove any subscriber with bounces. Like if emails are bouncing, it can be soft bounce, means they are valid emails but they have not opened in years. A second can be hard bounce, that email address itself is wrong, so you cannot send email to them. If you find any one of them, any emails, simply remove them. Plus, we should have a proper segmentation based on 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days. That will help us identify how many people are opening frequently and how many people are not opening frequently. And based on that, we can have a different messaging and campaign. Coming to the from name and subject line, it's like it is important that you have a consistency is more important than anything. Gmail loves consistency, and do not change often. Like I noticed one of my clients, he was working with me before, and you notice, see, I changed her name because adding an emoji, and now her email are landing in spam just because just because he has added a emoji. There would be other factor. I'm not saying there would not be other factor, but making sure your from name is consistent. That is what I'm trying to say. And if it is not, we can experiment with from name. If your domain reputation and IP reputation you are consistently hitting 35% and above, then we can definitely experiment. And if you're, most people in affiliate marketing experiment with from name. When it comes to if you have a brand, make sure you use name at the brand dot name. For example, Sarah at the rate Nike. That's how you are going to use personal name over brand name, and do not change often. So this is what it comes to when from name. When it comes to subject line, the best subject line are the which is loaded with curiosity plus benefit, not just only curiosity, and it should be personal. So that is the one of the best subject line that will be unique and unique to you only. And it is better that we have a less than 70 character, because most of the people are reading emails on the mobile phone. Avoid using spam trigger word like dollars, money, free, and more. And you can check, there's a tool called spam word checker. So if you go here, make sure that you don't have any spam emails and email thing, anything. You can put the body copy here plus your subject line as well. Make sure that there's no, especially in the subject line, there's no any word which is triggering, which can trigger spam. And when it comes to body copy, if your emails are landing in spam, make sure that it is text email over HTML. It is easy to read, and fewer images are much better, and fewer links are also much better. Our goal here is to get the engagement, and one of the better engagement is the reply. Okay, so with that being said, now you have a basic understanding of what is email deliverability. I know it is boring, but this is what will bring money for you or your client. So let me give you what was the deliverability detects client plan for one of my clients. So first thing that we did was we analyzed the list and start cleaning the list. Like, we were having 60,000 people on our list. So what exactly we did, run the list through Neverbonds to double check the health. So there's a tool called neverbonds.com. So what you can do here, you come to this tool and just use it, upload your list here, and after uploading the list, it will tell whether your email list need to be clean or not. If your email need to be clean, it will charge you for cleaning it. If your email list is healthy, means you don't need to pay anything, you'll able to understand. So first of all, what we did is we went to Neverbounce and checked whether how much it need to be clean. But we had a good email list, we don't need a clean. So the second thing what we did is we segmented the list: 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, and 60 days. And there were unengaged users. We will not touch them during this cycle because our focus was making sure our reputation goes high. So technical adjustment, we make sure that SPF, DKIM, and DMARC are set up, and blacklist. There are certain blacklists which will stop you from receiving email. There are 8 blacklists that we need to be aware of. So if you go to blacklist, 8 blacklist you should be actually aware of. Yes, so composite blocking list, spam list. So when I'll tell you how to identify this, but we have to be aware of these blacklist. The third thing that we are going to do here was, you see, when I started checking here in authentication, there was like DKIM, SPF, and DMARC. None of them was successful. None of them was 0%. So how do you check this? So you have to go on a tool called Google Postmaster. So in Google Postmaster, you're able to identify the domain reputation, the IP reputation, the SPF, everything. So I'll give you an example. How do you do this? Like how do you add the domain here? I'll tell you. But like, spam rate has increased. From here, if you click domain reputation, you see domain reputation high. It can be medium, it can be low. You can check IP reputation. See, it's medium, it's not high. So authentication, 100%, and everything is successful. So go to postmaster tool simply. If you click on plus here, just enter the domain name, and for example, I type sarabjitkumar.com. So simply in the DNS record, add this record and verify. And once it is verified, you'll able to see everything here. So that's what we have to do. So postmaster tool is a very useful tool before you start doing anything. It will help you analyze what is the current status of your email marketing is. Done. So strategy to warm up the domain. So first thing that we did, since we had a new IP address, it was not shared IP. We'll have to gradually increase the volume and limit sending volume. Start by sending email to small engaged segment. Example, 7 days. We were sending to only 7 days engaged for 2 weeks. Or 4 to 6 weeks. Slowly increase the volume as per the IP reputation improve. Send to 7 days, increase to 14 days and 30 days engaged. Week 3 and beyond, continue increasing until we reach the full audience. Monitor open it. So we're going to track engagement, make sure open it are consistently improving before increasing send volume. And for email content, this was the purpose. Goal to get the maximum engagement from the subscriber. Reply is one of the highest indicator anyway. So we send 9 word email. An email with the subject line test. Send an email to get feedback from your customer. Send an email to ask the subscribe for your next content idea. Encourage replies by giving them incentive. Test different subject line to get higher open rate. Install anti promo code. So uh, it- this is another code I'll talk about later. But right now, what you need to understand is uh, there are different emails which we have used. I'll show you in one page guide right now, but different emails that we need to send, which is the goal here is to get the replies and maximum people should open it. Domain IP health monitoring, you have to go in the simply Google Postmaster and monitor it just like this. Just like this. See, it was a bad. Re-engagement campaign, after that, once everything is good, then we are going to use this. We are not going to use at the initial stage. Create re-engagement email campaign with clear proposition to offer to win back disengaged content. But it will be only used when after 30 days, when we see like people are opening the email, and we have to make sure that we are expanding our email list at not at the beginning. Email frequency and consistency, we have to send it a regular and predictable cadence. Irregular or too frequent send and hurt engagement, it can hurt engagement. Avoid email bombardment. While is the frequency of email to prevent overwhelming a subscriber. Monitor and adjust. So this is the exact thing that I sent. That's the reason I'm reading in that like third person perspective. Monitor performance, we are going to monitor performance, tweak and test, and send time. So we have already done these, and that's how we are able to do it. I have given my client timeline: one week, get clean and segment your list, and week 3 was gradually increasing volume, 5 to 6 implementing re-engagement campaign, remove unengaged subscriber, and aim for open it increasing from 15 to 20%, which we have already exceeded. So that's what it is in terms of basic case study that we have done. And here's a one page guide on how do you get out of spam. The first thing that you need to check is send a test email and make sure that's so original, or you can go to dmarcian.com and check whether SPF, DKIM, and DMARC is passing or not. If it is not passing, that means you have to set up. That is urgent and that is most important first. Add the sending domain to Google Postmaster and run an email through neverpawns.com to remove unwanted emails. So this is the cleaning the list plus making sure we are authenticated. Blacklist checkup, that is go to mailtaster.com, mailgenius.com, and send a test email to them like this. Excuse me for my, I think internet is slow, but you have to simply send an email to the email they will give you, and after that, you see this is the email they have given, right? I'll copy this, and whenever I'm sending email, I'll send to this email. For example, I'm giving an example. Let's go to campaign right now. I'll duplicate this. So once I duplicated it, I'll go to preview and test. No. Manage test list. There's a complication here. I've added the test list. Now I can go back to campaigns. Now I'll send a test email. Preview and test. Send a test email. I'll send a test email to this. This is what we have to test, right? Send test. Send test email sent. So go to again here and check your score. 9.5 out of 10. Body of message contain errors. That's it. But you're able to see here everything. You're not blocklisted, so there is no problem. Otherwise, these can block you and there can be a problem. Body may contains error, so it will show a little bit of error. That's not a problem because I've not used ALT in the body copy. So that's how you have to do this checkup. And you should be aware of 8 email blacklist. If you go to this website, you'll able to get an idea like how do you get out of blacklist if you have been blacklisted. So this of once you have done the basic thing, the second thing that we're going to do is treatment period. So same thing as serial, you have to include this. Make sure that you do the segmentation. Your goal should be get at least 25% open rate. We'll send to each segment for 2 weeks or until we get 25% open rate. So the goal should be at least getting 25% open rate. And these are the emails which we have sent. You can study it. Question: did you this email land in inbox? Reply yes or not. If reply, I'll send you a gift tomorrow. These are very basic. Gift inside. Thank you for trusting me. This. My personal email list of this. Why I'm doing this? Click here to download. So I'm giving value and value and value. Again, I'm looking for specific people of you. Hit me October back with October. So again, I'm selling, but in a non-salesy way. You don't need this much years. This is another email, but you get the idea, right? You get the idea. This is a customer for it is same, but it's slightly. I just wanted to test and make sure you got my email. As a customer, I didn't want you to miss our update. Could you reply with yes to confirm? You in the chaos of world, this is also a powerful one. So best thing that you need to be aware, like you should be sending email that will get you the reply faster. So that should be the goal. Example, between you and me, this line of code made my client this much 5.66 million dollar. I have never said this with promise to keep it secret. It's available here for this next 24 hours. So very curiosity driven. Once your domain reputation is high, slowly open up to the more history cutoff. So domain reputation will go high, high, high. Then you can expand the volume again, bigger and bigger and bigger, but not going past 60 days if you're sending email, as they are only hurting your deliverability. So the ultimate thing is, if people are not opening the email, we should not send them email. And these are subject line, hey subject test, remember me sipping. This subject line can work much better. Another thing to keep in mind, that you absolutely must get your welcome email, like a welcome sequence email in the inbox, because that is the first email people receive after coming to your world. If email inbox recipient is more likely to get the rest of email in the inbox as well. If email welcome email goes to spam, all your emails might go to the spam in the recipient. It is super important. I've used to test like email from the welcome email before. And body is something like, hey name, just wanted to test and make sure you got my email. Click here to XYZ, sign up, and I'll be touched soon. So if the welcome email is going to spam, change it to the test email and say, hey, just testing you got this. Here is XYZ for sign up. If the welcome email goes to primary, the rest are more likely to follow. So doing anything, you can get more opens, clicks, and replies. So same thing. Curiosity driven, ask question to get replies, reply to get free benefit, optimize CTA to increase click, blank preview text, profile pic that stand out on flashes. So it's very simple, but you just have to implement it. So that was it. And drop your question in the comment section below and let me know what is the thing that is there in your mind. Otherwise, go and implement it and let me know the results in the inbox. Until that time, have a wonderful day ahead. Peace.